Good day, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Mom and Son Podcast.
This is Rose Frescoso, the mom, also known as FQ Mom.
And Anton Falso the Son. I want to greet everybody a happy November. We are now down to the second to the last month. And of course, mas malapit na ang Pasko. Yeah.
Yes.
So now that Christmas is approaching.
Christmas daw pang bata. And our topic is also
Yeah,
pang bata.
it's very... in Christmas time din kasi, also why why this came to my mind, this idea came to my mind, is that Christmas time, that's when the family comes home. It's very family-centric. And being a Filipino, all year round naman, family is always like a top topic.
Yep.
I remembered my experience growing up, specifically being disciplined, and how the world views it now. It's kind of different, I guess, as generations change. That's why our topic for today would be about spanking your children. Of course, this
In
is
Tagalog,
palo.
pinalo ka ba? Or mamamalo ka ba?
Yeah. And it's different now because, well, just like everything naman, times really change as the generations change. The way that parents show their affection is different from now and 100 years ago. Example, I'm pretty sure Gogo and Goga, our Gogos and Gogas, all had different relationships with their parents. So how it is now, the norm was different.
Yeah.
So we also want to look into the disciplining side of it. And since yung pampapalo, spanking your children, it's a very hot topic, but at the same time, it's a very touchy topic. So although
we're divided in that, diba? No?
Yeah, so although lots of people talk about it, it's parang the general consensus, if we may, is that we're not supposed to spank our children, because if you just simply state it out, that's violence. That's really physical harm. And in any situation naman, diba, we're taught to never use violence. Parang violence is never the answer, ganun.
Yeah.
But then we're going to try to dissect it now using Mama, your experience raising the three of us, in how this was for your experience, how it was beneficial and how it was an important tool, quote unquote, to use when it comes to disciplining children.
Yes. So siguro for the audience to know, no, Anton, pinalo ka ba nung bata
Yes.
ka? Yes.
I would think
a big resounding yes.
from the three of us, would you know kung sino yung
madalas mapalo?
sino yung pinakamataas yung score?
Ay, alam mo, I didn't take tab. Oo nga, no? That's a good question. And maybe the
And I don't
person
super
to ask
remember.
is your father.
Yeah.
Because he was the one who implemented
Oh, yeah,
it
okay.
more
Maybe
than
it's also
I
good
did.
to get his opinion on this kasi although Mama and Papa are a team, it would be Papa who would be the one to spank. Probably Mama spanked me only like less than 5 times ever.
There was one time you said, "Are you crazy, Ma?"
Bakit?
You said, "You spanked me, and then I'm not crying. You're the one who's crying." You remember that? Bata
It was
ka pa.
it was two evils. So if we would have to pick, my brothers and I would have to pick, so who would you prefer getting spanked? Like, who would you prefer? Which parent would you
Spanking
prefer
you.
spanking you? There's no winner or there's no right choice kasi it's Papa, syempre, he's the guy. So, mas malakas yun. Pero after the spank, done. Ganun na. Iyak ka na lang by yourself. But with Mama kasi, there's a long preparation time. And then, syempre, the spank isn't as hard, but there's a long talk after. And then usually, si Mama yung unang naiiyak. So, it's a really... So, it would be, do you want it to hurt more pero mas mabilis? Or you're gonna spend so much more time but it doesn't hurt as much.
Oh my God. Anyway, what is my take on spanking? Based on experience, it worked. I would say it worked for you guys. But this has to be, as you said a while ago, dissected and really talked about very carefully, because it is a very delicate form of discipline. I wasn't very sure when I became a first-time mom. Kasi nga, alam mo, ang nanay talaga ayaw sakta ng anak.
But were you spanked as a kid?
Oh, that's the thing.
Or Papa? Was Papa spanked?
Papa was definitely spanked. And for some reason, my parents really used that discipline, but they didn't do it on me daw. Because I was
You
so
don't remember at all?
payatot. Oo, I was so payatot daw, mukhang kawawa. But I saw my other siblings.
All of them?
Yes, all of them. All of them. Kasi ang payat-payat ko noon mukhang kawawa.
Kawawa. Okay.
Anyway, so going
But then that
back.
didn't stop decom from getting spanked. Kasi kahit kumamukha siyang kawawa niyo sa kid.
Kamukha ko. Anyway, so this is how I went through the process. So I wasn't sure if we would spank. Para bang, ang notion pa rin nun, oo, dapat pag matigas ang ulo, paluin. But, di syempre ako, read all the parenting books I could get my hands on, ano. There's really a divide with regard to whether we should spank our children or not. But there was this one story that really left a super mark on me.
The one with the car?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, let's tell them this story. There was a father and a son, a little boy, who were going to cross the street. So that boy darted and crossed the street na parang nakala siya dun sa hold sa grip ng tatay niya.
Agad.
Yes, and he almost got run down by the car. So, muntik siyang namatay, di ba? So, what do you now do with a kid who just did that? Pag sinabi mo, you could have died. What is that? What is that to a minor?
Again, this is really, really young kids.
Yeah, really, really young kids. Siguro mga 4-ish, ganyan.
And below.
Oo. Tapos, so the father really gave him a big whack on the butt. Because now, this was his explanation. What he did was a really dangerous thing. And for it to put a mark in his limbic system, kailangan may pain talaga yun.
Something he can understand.
Oo, something that he can understand and remember. Otherwise, it will be easier for him to do the same thing again.
And since it's
Diba?
a more parang grave, quote-unquote offense, it's not the same as he didn't get to put his toys back.
Yeah. So, kasi ganito yun eh. Diba, an action of ours always deserves a consequence. Diba?
Yeah.
So, when a bad act is done, okay lang kung may consequence na kasunod ka agad, ano? Pero yun nga, he was spared of that mega consequence that could have really cost him his life.
So it could have been like, if there was a consequence, wala na yung point kasi wala na siya.
Oo. Yeah. So, the father had to come up with that substitute consequence so that the child will never do it again.
Yeah.
Diba? It has to be really painful. So, yun nagmark sa akin. And that is why we were very, choosy, we were very prudent. Hindi naman lahat ng kalokohan nyo palo, di ba? Yung mga, so Papa and I talked about it and we discussed that yung mga major offenses talaga, si Papa really, really hated disrespect.
Yeah,
so,
that's what we remember. If it was something, yung blatant disrespect against any of you, especially you.
Yeah, especially me, no? Yeah. He would always protect me. You do not disrespect your mother. Pah! Ganun na. Tsaka yung talagang deliberate disobedience. Alam mo kasi ang bata niyan, checkin niya yung limits niya because it is now his time to discover himself as a separate being from his caregivers. So, titingnan niya ngayon yung limits. Ngayon, yun ulit, some limits could really be dangerous for the kids. So, kung meron kayong deliberate disobedience talaga, ganun din.
So, it's really pang lang talaga. It's really for the major offense, and this would be the very tricky part where the parents have a huge responsibility in this kasi it's the choosing what situation is the one that deserves and requires that kind of punishment. And at the same time kasi parents are still humans with emotions, so
correct.
Imagine it kasi let's say I do something wrong to you. The effect won't be the same compared to me doing it on a day na you were super tired and stressed from work or whatever. Compared to I did it on vacation or something like that.
That's why nga, you're right, yung pagpapalo sa bata, if you decide to use it as a form of discipline, cannot be delegated. Let's say that again. You cannot delegate spanking. Hindi talaga pwede.
Okay, that's where you really draw the line.
That's where I draw the line. That's why you had I think Enrique's yaya yata eh. When I learned na pinalo daw niya si Enrique, she had to be let go.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and she was so shocked kasi she thought she was doing a good job, ganyan. Pero sabi ko, hindi pwede. Sabi niya, mahina lang po.
That form of discipline is really reserved. Okay.
Mahina lang naman po, sabi niya. Pero hindi na, sorry.
Okay, so diving deeper into this topic and the way the society looks at it, I tried Googling and searching. I just searched effects of spanking children, and it's always, as in all the top articles I saw are all against it, are all negative. Yeah. But I saw this one article on, I think it's pretty legit because it's psychologytoday.com. It says a good point. It says that where is the evidence that spanking is actually harmful? One of the difficulties in proving that spanking is detrimental is that conducting a true experiment on spanking is unethical. So, how are you gonna?
Oo nga, no?
Kasi if we talk about like medicine, like if people, companies test medicine, there's a scientific controlled way. There's just people who try the medicine. There's a controlled group. There's the ones without medicine. Compared to spanking, which is it's a very, very subjective and abstract thing. So we don't know how. Because if you imagine, it says in here, discusses here, if you try to formulate a test, that's gonna be so unethical. So you're gonna pick random mothers. You're gonna pick random pregnant mothers to spank their children, and you're gonna pick people. You need a controlled group, and then you're gonna need to see. Kasi it's just one ingredient to the whole parenting recipe naman. Yeah, and another point it raised was that the kids who are spanked might be already the ones who are parang naughtier and have the behavior to disobey. Parang sila na yung mas disobedient in the first place. So, there's also no way to tell if you were spanked kaya ka naging violent or
did you really have the tendencies?
Yeah, there are some kids who are just gentler than others. There are some kids who are more makulit than others. So, it's not necessarily spanking as the main reason on why may masamang turn out when they grew up. And also, I realized that not just in spanking, but in so many things, you're only gonna understand things looking back naman.
Fact,
yeah.
Hindsight is 2020.
So me, when I'm asked, when I think about my future, if I'm going to spank,
visualize.
Although I was spanked and it was, I'd like to think I turned out well naman, I still don't know. I can't say na since I was spanked, I'm gonna spank also because it is a very very yung touchy topic. It's very very delicado. Sobrang delicado niya na you can really, there's a big chance of you messing it up and sort of traumatizing your kids. Kasi it's at the end of the day, although it has good intentions and everything, it's still physically hitting another person.
Yes. Alam mo, while you're discussing it, it just came na masyado pagka-FQ mom ko, no? Just something came to mind and I'm trying to I find a sort of a parallelism siguro with the credit card.
Okay.
May dangers talaga kasi ang spanking eh.
Yeah.
I mean, if you talk to psychologists who are dealing with itong mga abused children, it is so much easier for them to just say, wag na.
Yeah.
Para bang you're just...
It is the safer, rin.
You're just totally eliminating child violence.
Yeah.
Diba? Parang ganon. But at the same time, I've really talked to a lot of parents who did use spanking very prudently to their children, and their children turned out to be among the most disciplined that I know.
It's not the same as nagging and yung pagsabihan.
Yes. So, it really has to be when you now try to use spanking, that corporal punishment, as a form of discipline, kailangan sobrang prepared ka, pinag-aralan mo, you are in check with your emotions, etc., which is really very hard. So, parang tingin ko, parang credit card.
Okay.
you cannot have that. This is what I always prescribe it. You don't have the right to use your credit card if you are not a disciplined spender. Diba? Parang ganun.
So it's not necessarily the credit card that's evil.
Yes.
Again, it goes to that thing we mentioned a couple of times, that money is a magnifier. So the same thing here. It's this tool, spanking, or the tool of a credit card.
Yeah.
It's a magnifier. So if you're not okay talaga in the first place,
Kung may anger problem ka, zero ka talaga dapat sa spanking. My gosh.
Yeah, violence. What's it called? Violent tendencies in the first place. Yeah. And something I learned also in our trip to the States. Two things. The first one, I remember talking to Tito Jojo about this.
Tito Jojo is my brother who resides in Florida.
Yeah, I asked him about the whole spanking
what did he
thing.
say?
Sabi niya na, no one spanks their kids talaga here kasi you can go to jail. And it's that direct and intense. And here is where for me, the danger lies. Kasi although I have never really, met a lot of American teens, this is all based on what I see on media and stories. Na medyo disrespectful na yung mga, not medyo, disrespectful na yung mga kids to their parents. They would talk back, they'd shout at them because there is no, because they know, if you give kids that invincibility that they cannot be touched by their parents or else they're gonna go to jail.
So,
it can go all the way to the other side
extreme,
naman. Yeah.
yes.
There's always, in all things naman, there's always that balance na
Did you ask him if he spanked Clarice and Kevin?
parang he didn't
But they turned out so well. So,
yeah. So yun eh. So it's not a given that spanking will really make them better or will make them worse. And okay, well, on behalf of my cousins naman, matino naman talaga kasi sila. So
baka they didn't need na.
yeah.
Yun yung sinasabi mo kanina, no?
Yeah.
So what does the Bible say?
Wait, sorry. And then this other thing I also learned with on my a basic note lang on how I was in the States. Kasi when you're in the States, use the credit card as much as possible so that we don't need to withdraw cash and mas gastos pa yun. I realized na it's easier to parang although I'm the same person naman as I was when I was in the Philippines or in the States, pero mas well, okay, iba rin kasi you're on vacation mode, so you're on spending mode. But then like the how easy it is to just swipe,
that's
and
the pain of
nothing.
paying.
Yeah. But again, since I was on vacation, I think it's okay. As long as I don't make that my norm.
You know your limit.
Yeah, kasi I mean, it still added to the whole, all going off topic now, but it added to the whole experience of a vacation na masaya siya. Kasi I'm gonna spend naman eh. But if you add that stress na parang, I spent so much, you spent naman talaga and you still enjoyed it.
Yeah.
So yun. Okay, sorry, going back.
So going back, what does the Bible say? Ako, alam mo, sobrang daming mga Bible sayings pala that has to do with spanking. But the most used one is the one of Proverbs chapter 13 verse 24. Whoever spares the rod hates his son, but he who loves him is diligent to discipline him. So this one, the reason why I picked this one is that it already incorporates the responsibility. Sabi niya kasi, di ba, oo nga, he who spares the rod hates his son. Ibig sabihin, magiging bad yung son niya.
Yeah,
no?
yeah.
But it also says, he who loves him is diligent to discipline him. So it already implies na yung pag-discipline mo with a rod should be done lovingly. Yeah. Wala yung... Kasi ang mahirap, kung minsan, you punish because you're angry eh. And it's always very, very difficult to separate that. Kasi talaga nang magagalit ka pag may ginawang kalokohan eh.
Yeah.
But the thing is, you should be punishing, kagaya nung in-explain natin kanina with the story, in order to give that representative consequence of his wrong action, di ba?
Yeah.
So, it's difficult, but it is, syempre, ang pagpapalaki naman ng bata is not really easy, So, we just have to take this as one of those things that we have to be very, very careful about. And if you are going to err nga on one side, siguro,
that would be, kasi, you can say na parang, for us, it worked, but, again, all parents have their own different styles, have their own different personalities. That the chances of it to miss, like, okay, let's say we spread the news that spanking is beneficial for your children.
Yeah,
there are always there's a bigger chance for people to get that message and then interpret it and execute it differently. Because it really boils down to the proper understanding of this method and how it's administered.
Tama.
And what I would remember from those times of being spanked, there was so much talking that happened. It was never I did something wrong. Never naman, okay, in your defense, mama and papa, it was never happened naman na I did something wrong. I got spanked and I didn't understand.
Yeah.
One, it's not that I never understood naman, like, how did I do something wrong? It was really yung nga as in sina Digong Q Martin, I would talk about it before na yun yung mas hassle part na there's so much talking na it takes so much time, but at least it's understood. Yeah, it's explained clearly. Although I still didn't like it kasi syempre it hurts, but then
but you got the reason behind the action, diba?
Yeah, and it didn't happen a lot naman.
Sobrang konti eh.
There was a time nga I remember Digong tried to wear books in shorts. Those are one of my...
Did it work?
Pinatanggal yata ni Papa.
Towel yata. Meron ako may naalala akong towel. But I would actually leave the room, di ba? Medyo
Yeah.
madrama ko dyan.
It's the
Kasi
same way how you
syempre,
don't like watching us wrestle each other.
Oo, na yung pusong ngamon ng nanay. And it really goes back again to that Proverbs nga, na diligence talaga kailangan. Hindi pwedeng palo-palo ka dyan, no? You have to really understand yourself. And it's good na Papa naman is a relatively very calm, very kind person siya.
Yeah.
So for you to make him so get into paloing.
Into disciplinary mode.
Into
yeah,
spanking.
it's usually
it
naman
really
kasi
means,
it's always Mama who's the one who's always telling us na do this, do that, ganyan. But then it's only if it's like an intense thing. That's when boss level. That's when Papa steps in.
Oh yeah. So what we can probably tell them to wind this up is para siyang credit card. FQ mom talaga ako, no? Do not use it if you do not have the responsibility, the prudence to use it. You err na lang on the other side. Malahat naman nadadala sa magandang usapan, di ba?
Yeah. And for this, to conclude this episode also, di ba there's a term saying take it with a grain of salt? How does that, could you explain that saying?
Ang ibig sabihin naman nung take it with a grain of salt, huwag ka maniwala agad, no?
Yeah.
So
for
maybe,
this one,
you
we're
have
sharing
to understand.
we're sharing na that's how it worked for us, but take it with a kilo of salt, as in take it with a lot of salt, and really, really take the time to understand and think this through.
Yeah, understand yourself, understand the temperaments of your children, and really figure out a way that is best for you. Because the idea really is to discipline your children while they are young. Pero, hello, kung namamalo pa kayong tanda na nung anak nyo, there's really something wrong. You go see a shrink already. Okay?
Alright, so thank you again for listening to that episode of
Mom and Son Podcast. This has been Rose Press Fausto, the mom, also known as FQ Mom.
And Anton Fausto's son. Bye, guys.
Bye.
The Mom and Son Podcast airs every Tuesday, 7 a.m. and can be streamed on Spotify, Apple iTunes, Google Podcasts, Buzzsprout.com, and YouTube. Just search Mom and Son Podcast for your weekly dose of family, finance, passions, and everything in between. Leave a comment so other listeners may find this podcast. If you have any questions or suggested topics, email us at antonfausto@gmail.com.